just dive deeply a bit into Illuvium.
Yeah.
And what we like about it, because we've just outlined some of the things that we really like in other projects.
Mm-hmm.
So we've spoken about that we like narrative, that we look for narrative first.
Yep.
And then we talk about the team, and then we look at the tokenomics.
Yep.
So with that sort of macro structure in place,
sure.
Let's use that in a specific example with Illuvium.
Yeah, definitely. So let's start off with Axie Infinity, right, which took the world by absolute storm, or the world, I should say, the Philippines by absolute storm, which were the people in the Philippines were earning more money playing the game Axie Infinity than going to work. So these people in third world countries, instead of doing your full day work laboring or whatever they would do, they'd get more money playing a video game, and that was super successful for Axie Infinity. Now, for those who have looked at Axie Infinity, it's not a very fun game.
Yeah, it's dog shit.
It's like, there's a little bit of skill to it, a little bit of strategy. Like, it's okay. It's not like a terrible game.
But it's like grabbing a mobile phone from the mid-2000s.
Yes.
And going, is this Snake or is this...
Exactly. It's the Snake
shit
of
graphics,
the generation.
It's not very immersive.
And
it's a pile of shit, in my opinion.
And they have missed a trick here, because that the amount of money they made, they could have turned this into like a multi-billion-dollar studio in which they're producing AAA quality games. But they seem perfectly happy to ride along the narrative being the number one video game. And at the moment, there isn't many play-to-earn games out there.
There's no competitor, really, to it.
No,
there's no competitor, but there's actually not that many games out there.
No.
Like, even when we're talking about with Gala and their flagship thing that we first saw with Mirandus that really got us onto the project in the first place, that's 2 years away, minimum. So, all right, let's another one.
Several years away.
Years away. So, there's this sweet balance between putting these massive multiplayer games together that's really going to utilize the magic and the benefit of the blockchain and NFTs and true ownership of in-game assets. You've got that, but you've got to balance that with timing.
Of course.
When do you enter the market? So obviously Axie is on the far left hand of the scale.
Yeah.
And they just go, hey, we're just going to get to market and
they did it.
Market.
Credit to them. They're all very rich. Yeah. All the people involved in the Axie, like, they did it. They don't need to do jack shit. They will live the rest of their lives very rich, very happy. But for those who are wanting a little bit more, Illuvium is the the first triple. It's well, the way they're describing it's the first AAA game onto the blockchain, and in narratives, being first matters, right? So actually being able to come in and present a game which people enjoy playing, which people will play regardless of if they earn from it or not. Right? That's the thing. When people think about play-to-earn games, they think, oh, it's going to be a shitty game like an Axie Infinity. But it doesn't have to be. These games in the future, we're not going to think of play-to-earn versus not play-to-earn. The play-to-earn element's going to just integrate into these games.
Yeah, you won't know the difference. And the same thing is when we look at, say, Fortnite. Like, compared to, like, previous to the free-to-play, but you pay for skins and in-game assets. Before that, you had to buy the disc from the store.
Yes.
And you paid to play the game, whether it was multiplayer or not.
Yeah.
And that's where the revenue stream was from. And then I'm sure there was some sticking points at the start when someone came into the boardroom meeting and said, hey, what happens if we make all the games free?
No, mate.
But
terrible idea.
But we
little microtransaction
assets.
Yeah. Freemium is the word.
Freemium, right? So small transactions on a huge scale.
Game changer.
And
the blockchain, the play-to-earn, is the evolution of that.
Exactly right.
So to quickly, I guess, and we do need to go shortly. We've got a game of cricket to go to. But to, I guess, summarize why we're so interested in Illuvium is it's going to be the first AAA game to the blockchain. That's the narrative part. It's focusing on a auto battler style game. So these are it's a new genre, but it's a popular genre with people. Like the League of Legends has a version of it. There's a few different ones. That's part of it. There's the adventure mode. That's part of Pokemon. Like that, it's kind of a lot like Pokemon. So people are gonna, and it's a beautiful game as well. So people are gonna really enjoy going around the world.
Yeah.
But the beauty of the Illuvium is that when you buy into the Illuvium token, you're not buying into the Illuvium Auto Battler or the Illuvium Adventure Mode. You're buying into all of it. To link it with the tokenomics, all the revenue earned through these games will go back into the value of the Illuvium token. The different buybacks, revenue distributions that they're doing. Like, it gets a bit technical about how it all works, which we can definitely get into at a later date. But essentially, to think about it, the more people that play and interact with Illuvium, the higher the token price goes. And Illuvium will get its chance at being the first AAA blockchain game. It's got a free runway.
So that's first. Narrative is first AAA game, which means it's going to be the first game on the blockchain that's actually got proper graphics.
Yeah.
That's actually immersive.
Fun gameplay.
That's actually fun. That's actually large and resembles the games that we play right now.
And it's going to continue building.
Second is we've got the team.
All Australian based.
Yeah.
Very popular game, very popular team. And part of their qualities, we've spoken about this before, is kind of their honesty, and about their how are we describing it? Like their brutal honesty or transparency?
Radical transparency.
Radical transparency
is what I would say.
That's the word.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're Australians, they're larrikins. I'd love to meet these guys one day. It would be great to meet Kieran and all the different Warwicks. Their dad was a professional tennis player. Their older brother is one of the leads of Synthetics, a very popular early crypto project. I think it was related to putting stocks on the blockchain. Great idea. So they have a lot of positive things pulling them into like the successful narrative of the team winning.
Exactly. And what I think is phenomenal is their ability to hire in this market. Their growth has been exceptional.
Yeah, so they can hire everywhere in the world.
Yeah, so they've genuinely hired the best in so many different areas.
Yeah.
And to me, that says a lot about a team, that how quickly they can grow and they can support a culture like that.
Yeah.
And people are working around the clock to meet deadlines. So that, for me, says a lot about the team involved.
Yeah, completely agree. And they're still going through challenges and learning how to manage all of that. And the beautiful thing about it is you see them grow. Like I've seen Kieran grow and I've seen the others. Like Kieran used to just talk shit about Axie all the time and get into fights on Twitter. Like he's stopped doing that. He's just focusing on his project. Great project. All the success of Illuvium will be tied to the Illuvium token.
Yes.
Which is what you want when you're, because like we were saying before, you could have a great idea, great project. The tokenomics are shit, doesn't matter. But the tokenomics are great. So it's kind of the magic. Like it's got everything. And I think it's great. And not financial advice, but I'm personally buying more Illuvium any chance I can get. Because it's launching, I think, that they haven't given an exact date, but the open beta will launch I think it's May at the latest. So sometime in May. So it's a couple of months away. And all I'm saying is if you get millions of Philippines and a lot of different, there was a few other countries as well playing Axie Infinity. There's absolute terrible game, very average game, not that fun. You get them playing Illuvium, they're going to enjoy it. And the more people come in, and it's a last point about Illuvium too, a few months in, I think within the first year, they're holding an esports tournament. That will be the biggest esports tournament of all time in terms of prize money.
40 million.
Something like that. I think it's even more. And it will depend on the price of the token as well. That's part of it. Which, to do a full tangent, because we need to go in a second, is about the macroeconomic scale, back to where we started, about what's going to happen next. We've got no idea. If Bitcoin and the global economic stuff continues to go down, it will be hard for something like Illuvium to go up. But in saying that, we are moving into we'll finish it off here, but we're moving from a period of mostly speculation and little utility in tokens to more of a period of more utility with the tokens and still speculation though. That's the thing. That's what keeps the range of the prices. But if a token can have good utility and people can buy in and actually enjoy the game, gamers will play the game no matter what the market is doing, if the game is fun. Yes. So Illuvium's got a great chance of doing that. There are some risks, of course, but I think it's worth the risk, and I'm personally buying more Illuvium.
And I think we will need to do a whole nother deep dive into Illuvium. I think that's what the people want.
I think so.
And we'll do a deep dive and really break down what it is, the tokenomics, and why we're super bullish. We have a bit of an overview today. We'll do a deep dive into it, have a look into it, talk about more what it is, and really flesh out sort of our theory, our thesis on it.
Yeah.
Because it's really interesting. I don't really see too many other projects doing it in the space.